Today we are back with another video, and what we're going to be doing is changing this bedding here, like the sort of wood shaven coloured bedding. We're going to be changing it for what we've just picked up today is the Rainforest Exoterra bark, because if you know our snake is a Tessera snowcorn, you basically can't see him at all when he's out on this bedding because it's just the exact same colour. So with this, hopefully the colours will pop a bit and you'll see him a bit more. So that's what we're going to do. Got a little container for him to go in, but the whole lot needs to come out really. But he can go in here for now. Keep that a bit closer, and then take everything out and sort it all out. I've put these little clips down the back here, they're like little stickers, just so he don't get out, because he's still quite young. I'm saying he, but I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. But yeah, I've had a few escape on me before. I've actually had one on the wooden tanks. I've had one slide in between the two glass panels, so that's never good. But we'll start by taking this off and getting him. We do need to get background for this tank as well. We did have a 3D background, but all he was doing was bedding himself behind it, and again, you could never sit him, so that's a nightmare. Now he's normally always on the cold hide, which he is, just there. The temperature's perfect, but he just always chooses to go on the cold hide. There he is. And see what I mean by the colours? You just can't tell at all. So we'll put him in there for now. Actually, what we'll do is we'll get the hide, put him in there for now, and just keep an eye on him. Make sure he can't get out. That's his feeding container, so he'll probably think he's getting fed. And then these can come out onto there. Basically, everyone will say to me, oh, you shouldn't have this sort of bedding, it's no good for corn snakes or any sort of reptile. But the moral of the story, and it's coming up quite a lot now, is that if your husbandry, like your temperature, your feeding, stuff like that, is correct, then this bedding shouldn't be a problem. And before people can comment and say, oh, he's gonna digest this when he eats, he won't, because he always gets fed in that tub there. Don't know where he is, just laying there. Yeah, he always gets fed in that tub. That's what I've always done with my snakes, just what I've been brought up with. I've always been told that is the best way to feed snakes. Lizards obviously you find in the vivs and most other stuff, but snakes I've always been told to just feed them in the containers, because it just saves any sort of hassle. Yeah, so take this out and hopefully you can see him a little bit more when he's slithering about. That's what the tank looks like for now. I'm just going to give it a little clean out while it's like this, and we'll continue the video in a second. Right guys, we're back. We've had a little tidy up, we're just clearing up the little bits. What we've got here, because this used to be used for a crested gecko, a crested gecko. This here is vinegar, like just household vinegar and hot water. So on the side of his tank now, you can probably feel it and hear it, it's just really bad glass stain. So what we're going to do is just use one of these, soft and rough on one side, you're meant to dip it in the hot water with the vinegar and then scrub it. I've got loads of plugs down here, so probably shouldn't do this. But you're meant to just give it a good scrub and then wipe it off with paper towels. So just going to do that now quickly. Whether it works or not, if it does I'll let you know, but well, you'll see for yourself. And then just make sure you don't leave loads of water, because if you do, that'll then get heated up by the heat mat and then will make it much more humid than it needs to be for a corn snake or for whatever other animal you're doing it for. I'm not going to spend too long doing this because it will bore you, but just make sure you give it a good rinse out before you do. If the tank's not very sturdy, just hold it and hopefully it should come out. That's the thing about water stain, it always disappears when you add more water to it. So at the minute it looks like it's gone, but probably won't be. You can see my phone there just so I know what I'm recording for you guys with the GoPro, because it's stuck on my head at the minute. I thought it was the best way when you've got to use two hands. So once you give it a good rinse like that, a good scrub, that can go in the bin. And then just tissue paper to wipe the bottom. You don't want the humidity to increase in here for no reason. And then hopefully that should get rid of the majority of it. And then when I'm in bed, because my bed is just here, I can actually see him at night, because this viewing panel is rubbish to look through at the minute because you can't see a thing. Make sure you want to get it all off as well, because there's vinegar in here, so you don't want any of that to contrast in with what he can smell or anything like that. So that's all done. It feels much better. Might have to give it another rub down, but that's the tank as good as empty. There's a little patch of Aspen on there because I stuck the thermometer on the wrong place and didn't want them to get stuck to that, and I couldn't peel it off, so I just thought I'd leave it on there. Right, so now that is done, we can grab this. And again, people will say, oh, you shouldn't use the rainforest one when he doesn't live in a rainforest environment, stuff like that. It's irrelevant because you don't spray his tank, so the humidity won't increase. It'll only increase and hold it better if you're spraying it with warm water. Hopefully this bag will be enough, but yeah. Might have been too much. Well, I wouldn't have thought about that. Okay, it's definitely too much. Right, I'm just going to pause here while I take some out, because that is way too much. He would bury under there and I'd never see him again. So I'll be back when I've taken some more out. Right guys, we're back now. We've taken some of that out. It turns out that we actually only needed half a bag of that, and that was the smallest bag, so I really thought we'd have needed more. I've put some back because I'm not being nasty. You can still burrow, but you don't want it to be too thick. So it's just sort of palm flat, just enough. So if he does want to go under, you'll still be able to see roughly where he's at, so you don't think he's escaped all the time. But like I say, this is just temporary. We're eventually going to be getting a wooden viv for him, just because it would be much more ideal in the long run for when he gets bigger. But now we can start with putting everything back. This is his hot hide, although he never really goes in there much. That's his hot hide. This can go back in. I don't even know where it was, but something like that. That can go back in there. And then his coconut one can go in there. Water bowl can fit back in, and hopefully we'll see him a bit more. So let's see. There he is, look. Very, very smart corn snake. Probably one of the best morph colours I've had. I don't really know what I'm doing with this vine, so I'll just leave it like that for now. But yeah, probably one of the better colours I've had for a corn snake. There we go, sorted. Let me just grab this little guy. Hey buddy, come on. So like I say, it's still very young, but really, really smart colouring, as you can see. So yeah, and now when he goes in here, you should be able to see him much better. I've still got to put the lid on, but and look at that, he's burrowing straight away. I don't know if you can see that, but and there he goes. He's a bit wary of it, but there we go. And that was us just changing his substrate from aspen wood shavings to a jungle bark from Exoterra. And that concludes today's video. If you do want to check me out on Instagram, that would be ARC Exotics or ARC_exotics. We're doing quite well on there at the minute, a lot of giveaways and stuff like that, so make sure you give that a follow. I'll put it up on the screen if not. But thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for the next video. Goodbye.